reason I chose the FUE method is, you know, I've actually got a scar on my head that I had when I wrecked the truck when I was in my early 20s, and the last thing I wanted was another scar. And I know that, you know, they do the strip method and it minimalizes the approach to the scar. I wanted to sort of, if I'm going to do a procedure like, you know, technically one of the biggest and most important procedures that a guy can have done on his head, then I'm not gonna small ball it, and I'm not just gonna get the cheapest alternative. Although I have no doubt that they would do an amazing job, but if there's the ability to have a machine to be precise and take each individual follicle out and speed up my recovery time in that process, then I definitely wanted to do it. Because actually, after I had my procedure done, the very next week I had a conference to be at in London. So, and I was able to make it there. There was no scar on the back of my head, and you honestly couldn't even know the difference when I was there. Knocked out of the park. But to describe my procedure, it was actually, since I did the FUE, and Dr. Anderson sort of prefers this approach as well. Instead of making it a 14-hour all-day session, we sort of broke it up into 2 days. So the first day was roughly about a 3.5, 4-hour session whereby they mapped out exactly where they wanted to put the hairs on top of my head. So that was done, all that prep work was ready. And so the next day was about a 9-hour day. In the morning I came in bright and early at 7 a.m., ready to go. They numbed me up at the top of my head, felt no pain whatsoever, and the back of my head as well. And then I went to the machine, the ARTAS machine, and they individually took out each one of my hairs, which is kind of funny. If you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, which is kind of cool, but you don't feel any pain whatsoever. Everybody who was working on you, you know, it's not just Dr. Anderson, it's him, follow it up with the whole team of people who are there. They're supporting not only you, but also they're there to just help out with the overall procedure. And everybody's cutting up, everybody's very down to earth, nobody was just matter of fact. So that's another thing I sort of liked about it too. But after the follicles were extracted, we went to actually put each individual hair in, and it flew by. You know, Dr. Anderson says, you know, a 9-hour day or even a 14-hour day will fly by, and you really don't think it will, but honestly it did. I blinked and it was time to go home, which was not a bad thing at all. And I felt great. You know, I typically am a fast healer, and I healed very, very quickly. It's very hard to even tell where the items or the follicles were extracted in the back of my head. You can't even really tell. And you know, it didn't take long for the scabbing on top of my head to be gone either. So it was a very quick procedure, and you know, if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it with my eyes closed. I'd probably do it faster actually. So.